This video is sponsored by Artlist. Today, DJI just dropped this. This is the brand new DJI Flip, and I've had this drone for the past couple of weeks, and I've been testing it out while filming the release of a few social campaigns for DJI. So in this video, I'm going to talk about what this drone is capable of, what I think about it, and who I think it's really for. So first up, let's talk about the body design, because this is incredibly unique and different than what DJI usually does. They're calling the DJI Flip their first ever foldable drone with fully covered propeller guards. So let's dive into that. So this is what the drone looks like when it's fully folded up. You can get a sense of how really compact it gets, and I think the design is really genius. The way you unfold it, you simply just pull out the props like this, and boom, now you have a fully operational DJI Flip. Now the drone automatically turns on, as you just heard, whenever you unfold the props, and similarly whenever you fold it back down. So you do the back ones first, it will automatically turn off in 5 seconds, as you're hearing.
Press any button on aircraft to cancel.
Now, as you can see, the props are fully enclosed, and it is a 2-blade prop system, which we'll talk about. And also at the back, you can see that it says 249 grams. So this drone still falls below the 250 gram weight limit, which is awesome. So depending where you live, you might not have to register this or have a license in order to fly it. On the front of the drone, we have this massive LiDAR sensor, and that's how the drone uses the automatic AI tracking modes. Again, we'll get into that in a second, and also how it uses the obstacle avoidance system when flying forwards. And that's something that's really important to note. This drone only has sensors on the front, no rear sensors, no side sensors, and it also has sensors on the bottom, which are used for landing, as well as detecting downward or wherever the ground is, downward objects. But yeah, that was super useful when I was flying over this river. It really let me know how far away I was from the base of the river, which is useful if you don't want to lose your drone. Now the front screen also serves a second purpose, which you'll see. So there's a button on the side here, and if I press this button, the front screen actually lets you see all of the different modes that the drone has, similar to the DJI Neo. So you have your follow mode, your droney, your selfie, your tracking mode. And if I go ahead and I push this button, it actually cycles through all of the different modes, and the front screen indicates what mode you're currently highlighted on. And just like the DJI Neo, you don't need a controller to fly this drone. So if I go ahead and select the mode that I want, so right now it's on the automatic follow tracking mode, and I just hold down this button on the side, the drone will automatically take off and it'll hover in front of me. And then similarly, whenever I want it to land, I just stick out my hand and it will also land automatically without a controller. Now, a quick disclaimer, it is important to know that in these automatic AI tracking modes, whenever you fly the drone without a controller, the drone can only film in 4K 30 with all of the settings in automatic. So that's just something to consider. However, I will say through my extensive testing of this drone, I was really impressed with the automatic AI footage. Whenever there's a subject in frame, I don't know what post-production whatever algorithm DJI is using, but they basically create this fake bokeh or this fake iPhone portrait mode effect around a subject or a person, and it actually makes the vlogging and the following shots look pretty professional, which I was really impressed by. Let me just quickly show you in the office how safe it is to fly this drone indoors and how easy it is for it to take off and land.
Medium. Follow. 3, 2, 1.
Now the DJI Flip is meant to be a crossover between the DJI Neo and the DJI Mini 4 Pro. So the camera is absolutely stacked. You get a 1/1.3 inch CMOS sensor, the ability to shoot in 4K 60 HDR video, 31 minutes of max flight time, and D-Log-M. Basically, you get the same image quality in this camera as the DJI Mini 4 Pro. So if you're somebody that was disappointed with the image quality of the DJI Neo, but you really like the body style and the whole completely covered prop guard style, well, DJI listened. They essentially gave you a bigger DJI Neo body while staying underneath the weight limit and still getting incredible image quality. So this drone might be the one that you were looking for if you were looking for a crossover between these two drones. Now, I will say I didn't have access to any ND filters while filming the campaign or any of these videos that you've seen throughout this video, but the image quality still turned out absolutely fantastic. I'm somebody that only films with ND filters, but even though I was lacking motion blur in some of those shots, I thought they still looked super clear and super crispy, which was really great to see. You also have access to D-Log-M, which is something you didn't have access access to on the DJI Neo, which is great to see because you really unlock the full potential of the image quality of these drones whenever you have access to D-Log or D-Log-M. And color grading this footage has been absolutely a treat. It's been so easy and the image quality has been really, really good. Now, if you're somebody who's new to color grading, let me put you on to a cheat code. And it's all thanks to this video sponsor, which is Artlist. Now, Artlist has been a partner of this channel for a long time and a service that I really wish was around when I first started my YouTube journey, which is why I continue to work with them. Now, you might think that Artlist only has stock footage and stock video and license-free music, all those features which they do have and they're really good at, but they recently introduced something new which I'm really stoked about, which is their LUT library. And so essentially you just go to this page and you have access to all these LUTs that you can download and you can use on your projects. And that's not even the best part. Whenever you're scrolling through them, there's actually this slider that you can push back and forth, and it shows you what kind of effect the LUT is having on that footage. Now you can take this a step further. They have a bunch of different scenarios and a bunch of different clips that you can switch between just to see what the LUT would look like in different environments. So whether you're somebody who shoots inside their office indoors and you want to see what the LUT looks like, or maybe you're outdoors in a city or in a mountain range, you can still see what the LUT looks like. Now, me personally, I graded this entire DJI release video using the Destiny LUT because I really liked the way that it looked and it really complemented the whole snow and blue vibe that I was going for. And that's how I color graded this entire project. It was really easy for me, just one click, drag and drop. So if you're somebody who's looking to take their project to the next level and you really want to get better at color grading, but you might not be there yet and you need some kind of shortcut, well, Artlist definitely has you covered. And their LUT library honestly is really, really good and something that I'm going to continue to use in all of my projects moving forward. So if you want easy access to these LUTs, there will be a link in the description below. Definitely go check it out. And once again, huge thanks to Artlist for sponsoring today's video. Now, along with all the other features that we talked about in this video, you still have access to Active Track. So if you've ever used Active Track on a DJI drone before, you simply draw a box around your subject and the drone can either automatically follow it, trace it. You can use Spotlight to sort of follow it while the drone is stationary, and you can also perform a circle tracking maneuver, which is my personal favorite thing to do with Active Track. Now, one thing to note, all the sensors, including the front LiDAR sensor, turn off whenever you're in this Active Track mode. So it's important for you to be very careful if this is something you're going to use. Again, it is something that I use, but I'm a pretty experienced drone pilot. So if you're new and this is something you want to use, just be a little bit careful. And thankfully the props are fully enclosed. So even if you do get into a crash, everything should be fine, but just a word of caution. Now, you might think that because of the two-blade prop design, this drone might not fly very well, which was also my initial concern and what I initially thought. But I'm happy to report that all those concerns were put to bed as soon as I started flying this drone. In most scenarios, I didn't even feel a difference between this and my Mini 4 Pro. The drone flew perfectly fine in the windy and cold conditions that I put it through, and I never even felt that there was any issues when I was flying. So that's the great part. With the DJI Neo, I did struggle in some environments where it was super windy, and that drone is way lighter than this. It's like 130 grams or something. So it was a little bit affected by wind when it wasn't in the FPV mode. So I'm happy to report that this drone flies incredibly well in windy conditions. Now, with the DJI Flip, I did get the Fly More combo. That's what DJI sent me. So you get this little charging hub where you can put up to 4 batteries, and it honestly charges really, really fast. And it's also compatible with the DJI RC2, so that's great to see. This is one of my favorite controllers. So who do I think this drone is for, and where do I think that it currently lands in DJI's drone landscape? Initially, I wasn't sure, but while I started testing it, I think it became abundantly clear. Like I said, this drone is meant to be a crossover between the DJI Neo and the DJI Mini 4 Pro. So if you were somebody that really wanted to get into the DJI Mini series, but you still wanted those automatic AI tracking features and the vlogging capabilities of the DJI Neo, well, this drone meets that niche perfectly. You can do all of your vlogging and your automatic AI tracking shots without a controller with the DJI Neo, and it has the amazing picture quality of the DJI Mini 4 Pro, all while keeping you safe with the enclosed prop guards, which I think was a brilliant move for DJI. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Those are my complete thoughts on the DJI Flip. Make sure you go ahead and you check out the social release campaign. It'll be on Instagram and TikTok, and I'll probably post it on YouTube Shorts as well. But yeah, anyways, those are my complete thoughts on the DJI Flip. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you on the next one, and until then, keep creating.